In this video, we are going to create a shooting system using Epic Games' game animation sample. The idea is to make it in a way that you can simply override some files, make small changes, and still keep everything working even when Epic releases updates. This video is part of a free tutorial series that you can follow to build your project from scratch, but if you prefer, you can also download the project files using the link in the description. In your project, we are using the controller we built in the last video to handle all the logic. If you didn't follow that part, don't worry, you can use the same steps shown here with your own controller or even inside the sandbox character. To build the system, we first locate where Epic stores the input commands. I search for one of them, then I use Ctrl B to go straight to the input folder, then I duplicate one of them and rename it to Fire. Just a reminder, when Epic releases updates, the IMC sandbox file where all inputs are gathered will likely be replaced, so it's a good idea to make a backup by duplicating it. Now open IMC sandbox and add the new input command we created, connecting it to the left mouse button. Back in our controller, we call this event. Before we continue, we need to create a new value called wants to fire inside the structure that comes with the project. So let's go to the content folder, search for the structure called character input state, open it, and add the wants fire boolean. Then we copy the same nodes used in aim to our fire logic. You see those on the screen like the set members in character input state and update input state server. Connect that to ongoing so we can make it shoot automatically. We connect the value to wants to aim for now, we'll fix in a second, and add the delay so we can have a lower fire rate for testing. Now we change it from aim to fire in the structure and let's create a projectile. We create a new actor blueprint in one of the folders. In my case, I made a folder called ballistic and created an actor inside it. I name it BP projectile, add the sphere collision and set it as the root of the blueprint. Then, with the sphere selected, I add the cylinder, rotated it to point along the x-axis, which is the forward direction the project will move in. I also added a projectile movement component and set the speed to 9000 just for testing. The cylinder can stay with no collision for now, that's all we need for the blueprint at this stage. In the controller, we use the spawn actor from class node and select BP projectile. To make the spawn in the direction our character is aiming, we use get control rotation. Split the transform and connect the rotation pin. Our weapon already has a bone called muzzle right at the tip of the gun. This bone, which could also be a socket you create, will be used to spawn the projectile and later the visual effects. So we use get socket location, get a reference to our character, already created when possessing the pawn, and get the weapon. In my case, I rename it to SK weapon. We plug that into get socket location, type the name of the socket, muzzle, and use that as the spawn location. For the spawn collision handling, we set it to always spawn, then test it. Next, we'll add a delay after spawning the projectile. Using a do-once node, we create a custom event and connect it to reset. At the end of the function, after the delay, we call this custom event so we can shoot again. Fire rate is set to 0.1 seconds. Right now we can shoot even without aiming, we'll fix that next. But first let's fine-tune the projectile blueprint. We change the speed to 22,000, check rotation follows velocity, and also check should bounce, then set bounciness to 1, friction to 0, and bounce velocity stop simulating threshold to 2000. Enable force substepping as well, and you can also remove the max speed by setting to 0. Then we can test it again. Now to allow shooting only while aiming, get the character input state, then split the structure and pull out once to aim. Use a branch node to check that value before firing. If your projectile looks too big, feel free to scale it down or adjust the visual however you like. I also made a custom material called M-Bullet, added some emissive power to make it glow, and apply it to the projectile. If you want to go further, you can add a point light, but be aware this might impact performance depending on your game. Lastly, let's check the collisions. In the bullet component, choose Block All Dynamic. I also renamed the sphere collision to collision component. I think it's a bit more descriptive. Then set the collision to custom, collision enabled, word dynamic, ignore camera and visibility, and block everything else. And finally, in the projectile movement, set the velocity again to 2000 on the first axis. From here, you can build lots of new logic, but remember, this projectile needs to be destroyed at some point. It's good practice to hide it first and then destroy it after a delay. That way, the game has time to finish any events or effects that depend on it. Inside the project, you can use on projectile bounce, break the impact result to get data like the hit actor, and apply damage just as an example. This could be useful in future projects. Then hide the mesh, wait a bit, and destroy the actor. Just make sure it doesn't keep dealing invisible damage. This is only a good practice example. Now we have a basic shooting system. We still need to add the aiming and other features, but it's already looking really good. Thank you for watching to the end.